We're getting set for a men's doubles semifinals here on Championship Court at the Boca Raton 2023 APP New York Open. It'll be the second seed, the Johnson twins, facing the 3-seed John Cincola and Brendon Long.
Yeah, and Long and Cincola, obviously, they have been playing really well. They would be, like we talked about off camera, they on paper would be the underdog here. But I'm going to look for Cincola and Long to kind of take charge early on and really bring it to the Johnsons, who in recent tournaments haven't played as well as they should be, Chad.
Yeah, the Johnsons are a little off balance as of late, finding some rhythm and overall just playing clean pickleball. We saw them start the season off extremely hot. In the last few weeks, and whether it's been a paddle change, whether it's been just the back-to-back competition that's kind of put a little bit of pressure on them as well. I feel like here in this one, in order for them to get through, the communication has to be there. They have to be ready to attack and counterattack, because Long is going to be looking to be big in the middle. Cincola and Long had a good run in Cincinnati a couple of weeks ago.
Brendon Long, age 33, out of Naples, Florida. Captured an APP gold medal in Daytona Beach. And Cincola and Long have had a pretty easy road to get to the semifinal. They won their second round match 11-0, 11-9, 11-4, 11-7 in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, the Johnsons, theirs has been a little bit tougher as we take a look at John Cincola. The Johnson twins, they really had to fight going up in the quarterfinal against Chikatalov and Lika. 11-8, 7-11, and then 12-10 in Game 3.
Yeah, and you're playing against, two guys like Chikatalov and Lika. Chikatalov, newer to the scene, very big, long, athletic, likes to play really fast. Lika playing next to him is another big man playing next to him, but plays soft and is a great resetter, will keep Chikatalov in points. And again, that was a good match going 3, but Johnson and Johnson prevailing 12-10 in that third game. That's a big win for them, I think, and a confidence boost for them coming into this match.
Yates Johnson standing next to his twin Hunter Johnson, both 29, out of New Braunfels, Texas, just outside of Austin. 4 APP golds for Hunter on the year, 2 for Yates, both of those coming in singles in wins over his brother Hunter. As we are just about to start here on Championship Court, men's semifinal double. Still looking for our last 2 championships in the gold medal matches tomorrow. Men's doubles, women's doubles, yet to be decided. Already 3 tickets punched to Championship Sunday, as we are moments away.
See the Johnson brothers there discussing strategy here before the match even starts. For those of you guys at home watching, Hunter Johnson in the white socks, Yates Johnson in the black socks. Or you'll be able to tell right now, Hunter has a blue sleeve on and Yates does not.
I want him to switch it up one week.
Just mess with everybody.
That would happen on April Fool's, right?
Potentially.
That'd be a good time for it.
Potentially. I mean, once you get to know them, you can tell the difference in their facial structure. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of... We've gone by the socks and the arm sleeves for quite a while.
It's a little easier to see the facial structures.
The ball is just wide. Hunter trying to push a little too far out. Long came across into the middle.
1-0, Dave.
Good hands battle, one right there from Yates Johnson. Again, you're going to look for them to win those hands battles. If the Johnsons are winning those hands battles, they're in good shape here in this match.
Right into the body of Yates.
Yeah, good hands from Cincola right there. Nice and short and compact. All he does is just slap at that last ball right into the hip of Yates. Sorry.
Look at the facial structures.
Well, I just trip over my own tongue. That's my issue.
I can't help you with that. Lob sails just long. That gets the Johnson twins on the board.
They could be wearing name tags and I'd still screw up.
A forehand clips the top of the tape. Earns Cincola and long a side out.
That's something that Yates needs to make. He's got a really tough topspin forehand to pick up on that third shot drive. If he's not making those and putting him into the net, not a whole lot of pressure coming anymore.
And another unforced error into the net, that one by Yates.
As you see Yates, as he's going to block that, he jumps backwards and is in the air. Keep those feet planted, punch that forward.
Just misses it wide. The Johnson brothers, like many players on tour, played collegiate tennis at
Take
SMU.
another look at this one. Oh, I didn't say it. Hunter.
It was just wide.
Yeah, Hunter was arguing there a little bit that that ball wasn't wide. From our perspective.
Listen, you got to sell it, right? And another error into the top of the net. And it seems like right now the Johnsons are just missing those shots by a couple of inches.
And even that ball right there, if Long lets that ball go, that ball's going to be 4 feet out. As you see Yates try and pull that back cross court.
Well, part of the presence of Long being in the center of the court there, it makes you go for more to try to pull him out of that middle.
Tried to speed it up and just missed.
Yeah, it's a good ball right there for Cincola to hit, too, because it's sitting right up on that forehand side for him. But again, just off the top of the tape.
Hunter lets it go and it falls in, and now 6-1 here in game number 1.
Yeah, good reach in there for Long, but a good setup from Cincola. This is the complete opposite of what we saw from them in Cincinnati. They were really struggling to get off to good starts in Cincinnati, but here coming out and playing with a little bit of fire behind them or underneath them.
Couldn't handle the dig, so the Johnsons earn a side out.
Nice job right there from Hunter as he's moving forward through the transition area. He's on that front foot and punching with that backhand, putting pressure on Cincola.
Long swung and missed. Cincola had the paddle there behind him, but that angle was too far gone. Missed that one wide. Good spot. And then a missed return.
So a couple of easy points have the Johnsons back in game number 1, 4-6. And all of a sudden, the Johnsons applying a little pressure.
Well, again, they're on their front foot now, too, and they're putting pressure on both Cincola and Long instead of just receiving and playing on the heels.
Oh,
Just missed it.
Yates was all over that, but tried to put too much on it. Didn't need to put anything on it, really. Long slid over to the left. Not the best speed up from him, but definitely got away with one there.
Big swing earns an unforced error into the net. 6-6-2.
And you hear from the court mic, you hear Long going, watch, watch, watch. He thought he floated his dink cross court a little too high. But Hunter not able to do much with it.
a good spot there from Yates. Gets behind Long. Long getting a little too big on that forehand side. Catches that ball back behind the body.
Okay, 6-6-2.
Sends it long.
It's such a good ball there to hit front of that spot from Long, but again, just getting too big because, again, every other ball's coming back, so it's like you want to compensate and try and go a little too much. He does just that.
Just inside the line.
Yeah, and if we were to point out one issue in Brendon Long's game is that he tries to do a little too much and add too much power at times, and he's either on or he's spraying balls, and so far we've seen a couple of those forehand spray.
Big swing in the center of the court from Yates.
As Johnson's again on the front foot, on their toes, moving forward and causing the timeout. That's a nice run here for the Johnsons as they take a 2-point lead.
And it's kind of the flip the script on Long and Cincola here. Long and Cincola came out, and they were being really aggressive. They were the ones that were kind of putting it to the Johnsons and saying, hey, try to slow us down. Now the Johnsons are the ones that are putting the pressure on Cincola and Long, and the answer has been from Cincola and Long to try to get bigger and hit with more power rather than slowing that game down and then being able to be the aggressors in that back and forth exchange.
Chad, pickleball still a growing sport. For those who be watching who may not know what you mean when you say get bigger, what does that mean in terms of playing at the net?
Yeah, so a lot of the times when we say we got too big, it's talking about the take back or how big of a swing we're trying to put on the ball. What we want to do is we want to stay nice and compact and short once we're up at the kitchen line. And Dom and I talk a lot about peripherals. Like when you find your peripheral, and some people's peripheral is much more narrower than others, but typically we don't want to take our paddle back outside of our peripheral vision because then we're getting too big and we lose sight of that ball for just a split second. And then that really affects how much or the accuracy of our swing.
Long puts the towel back over the chairs, and we are set to restart here in game number 1 on Championship Court. Out wide.
And see, Long can generate so much power just from that compact swing there. He doesn't need to do too much.
Wow, Cincola. Talk about some power right here with the forehand. But there's the setup as he flipped that ball back side and gets the ball in the middle for the winner.
Oh, that's very ambitious there from Brendon Long. It was excellent defense off of the backhand Ernie from Hunter Johnson. Long trying to say, well, I'm just going to do a butt on the other side to match your Ernie.
I think even Cincola looked at him and was laughing, going, it's a little much for you, buddy. Big ball right there, and a good setup, though. Getting the pop-up here, and Brendon Long not going to miss that one.
Yeah, that one all came from the misdirect to the inside out from John Cincola into the body of Hunter Johnson.
7-8-1. Right at the feet of John Cincola. That's a well-placed shot.
Yeah, it just doesn't get any better than that. It's exactly where you want to go, right? We talk about hands battles, Chad, you and I all the time. Where you're getting those hands battles waist high to waist high, it's who can get the ball down at the feet first, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, ball's deep again. But if you take a look at Long and Cincola hit a shake and bake, and then the Johnsons hit a shake and bake. The difference within that was the positioning of the drive. And what I mean by that is Long went down the line to the forehand side of Yates Johnson, and he was able to just put that ball down to Cincola's feet. There was no way, even if he hit a good drive, that Cincola was going to crash over there. So if you're looking for that shake and bake and you're looking to put pressure on, you're looking more so to go into the body or something that's going to create that ball to pop up in the middle. If you're going straight lines, it's going to take that ball away from the middle.
When you had now, let's go back to the beginning or halfway through this game. It's 6-2 Cincola and Long, and they're cruising along, right? And then all of a sudden a timeout, and now it's 10-8 or 10-7, excuse me. That's an 8-1 run here from the Johnsons. Like, that's a huge difference maker. But again, it's, in my opinion, the pressure they've put on. Instead of receiving that pressure, they've said, okay, forget it. We're going to change this, and we're going to put pressure on. And they've been front foot, leading with the paddle out front, and just putting that pressure on first and taking charge.
Well, something that we've spoken about a lot over the years is if you're playing against a team that's being aggressive, you have to be aggressive before they are. If you allow them to dictate the speed, well, that ball's out there.
And that is game point here in game number one as the Johnsons reverse the tie. They take it 11-7. We'll have second game action coming up next. You're watching the Boca Raton APP New York City Open.
Is the Johnson twins.
We save time when we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Which means more time
Wait, take a check.
Kyle, it's pickleball.
Every time. 002.
Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
The APP is presented by Franklin, Pickleball Magazine, and Level Up.
Set for game two action here on Championship Court. It's the second seed, Hunter and Yates Johnson, taking on John Cincola.
Okay, gentlemen, time in. Game 2, 002.
Error by Brendon Long to start game number two.
102.
Yates back to serve.
Yeah, good combination there from Cincola. Sitting nicely on that backhand.
There's the side out.
Play got a little wonky right there on the attempted speed up from Long. The ball gets popped up just enough that Yates and Hunter are able to get on top.
Ooh. Long taking it. It wasn't a big swing, but he's taking a ball waist high and swinging up on it. Almost impossible to keep that one inside the court.
Good defense there from Cincola on the first speed up from Hunter. As he went right at the body, but Cincola able to move and kind of get a good backhand paddle on that. And then Hunter trying to double up goes wide.
Oh, the hands from Cincola to put that ball away.
Yeah, it was a good spot right up at the body of Hunter Johnson there, but did a good job of being able to reset it. But again, Cincola adding that spin.
Cross-court dinking rally.
Let's go.
Ernie.
He was really close to stepping on that net post footing right there, though.
Super close to getting on that, and if he does touch that footing, that would be a fault on Long on the Ernie.
But nonetheless, perfect setup on the Ernie there for Long.
Tight game here early in game number 2 after the Johnson brothers took game number 1 11-7 here in the men's semifinal.
I don't know. I think that ball might have been going wide right there that Hunter took.
It could have been, but I'm going to go back 2 shots prior to that where the ball's in the transition area. It sat low. Great decision from Long not to drive that, because if he does, he's got to get that up and over. It's probably going long. Dropped it in, set himself up nice.
Yeah, Johnson's got to take that one out of the air. It sat up, and it just floated there, and he took that step back, and then once that step back, that ball got so close to his body that he wasn't able to hit through it.
Oh. Finally, the Johnson's able to force an error.
Well, Cincola trying to get a little cute down the line right there. He did get a ball that he probably could have done something with, but good defense there down the line from Yates Johnson.
Cincola tries to speed it up, ends up sending it long.
Yeah, and it's an okay ball to speed up right there. Maybe could have been a little bit better ball as that point progressed, but Cincola just didn't add enough topspin on that one. It came out very flat.
Tried to get a little too fine with it, did Yates.
Well, good coverage in the middle there from Brendon Long as him and John Cincola uncoiling from the stack.
Backhand into the net, gives the side out right back over to Cincola and Long.
Yeah, that's the ball to drive there from Yates, but you saw him just run through that one, and that's what jammed him up and caused that ball to be flat and go straight into the net.
Long, what is Long doing that is continuing to send those balls wide, or long rather?
long.
There's a
by
lot of
long.
longs in that set.
By long,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
He got too long with his swing. And that's
course he
basically
did.
not getting out in front. He takes the swing way too big. All he's got to do is come up, punch that through the middle.
Yeah, good hands from Cincola right there. Gives a little bit of a growl back.
And a little head shake going, not happening down this line right here.
I just want to go back to the previous point and say long was long because he was too long.
And now
That
Cincola's
summarized
long
it.
on the service error.
Right?
Rubbing off.
2-4-1.
2-4-1.
Right there. I mean, that's just picture perfect from Cincola. You watch that volley. He's up out in front and just punches that down right at the feet.
2-4-2.
Oh, Cincola hit the court first. Otherwise, I think he had that one. We'll take another look right here. Yeah, with him hitting the court, he wasn't able to give it the shape that he needed to get that one back around the post. Good reach in. Sorry, go ahead, Dorian.
I was just saying another error into the net. I know you want to just jump in and talk and explain what's going on, right?
No. Well, if you're looking at this at home, right, and we talk about, go back to what we're talking about is we're getting too big or getting too long. Oh, Yates with the ups. But, yeah, going back to getting too big or getting too long, the adjustment Cincola and Long have made is that no longer is the paddle going back behind their hips. Everything's staying in front of the hips. At that, they've got enough power, but that gives them the control.
Cincola made so many good shots and then dumps that into the net.
I don't know how he reset the ball in the middle of that point there, but yeah, he tried to rush that last ball. He saw Johnson moving.
Great lob sets up the easy put away. 4-4-1 here in game number 2. Really good defense by both teams at the kitchen line.
I mean, some great resets, both from Long and Cincola in there. Both of them got jammed up each once, and then all of a sudden, just a perfect reset.
A little bit too much there from Yates. He was going for it.
Yeah, there you go. Yates got a little big on that one. But, there's been a whole lot going on, but we're still at 5-4.
Tried to dig it out, but it will go back over to Cincola and Long on a side out. 4-5-1.
Good return there. Long's weight falling back as he tried to hit that drop. And he's taking a look at the surface right there.
4-5-2.
Foot potentially getting a little caught up.
A little extra time for the serve. And a good decision by Yates to let that ball go.
Well, Long's running through that from a low position, trying to do just a little too much. He's going to run in and get that, drop that in, and work the next shot.
Hands battle goes the way of the Johnsons.
Yeah, it's a good counterattack there from Yates Johnson. Read the speed up well, got it back into the body of Long. So then Long tried to do a little bit extra in that one to get the ball down.
Timeout receivers 7-4-1, 1 minute.
Cincola and Long want to take a timeout to talk about it. And Chad, to your point, you talk about trying to do too much after you make a mistake. How easy is it to get sucked into that cycle of trying to make up for a previous mistake?
Well, and I think, earlier on here, there was so much going on. It was this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, but we're still at 5-4, right? Nobody had pulled away. Everybody was doing all the right things when they were on the defensive side. So now, once you give up 1-2 points and you start trying to, I mean, Dom, you talk about it all the time where we try to get 2 or 3 points back with one swing. It's that's the hard part where you get sucked into it.
You are watching the Boca Raton 2023 APP New York City Open, coming to you from the Billie Jean King USTA National Tennis Center, the premier racket sports facility in the country. Men's semifinal double action. Hunter and Yates Johnson taking on Brendon, Long and Cincola, trying to advance to the winner's bracket final. Both these teams want to play for a chance for Championship Sunday. Another point coming for the Johnsons.
8-4-1.
Big swing from Cincola.
Yeah, perfect angle on that overhead. Had good power behind it, but what was even more impressive was how far he was able to pull that ball out wide.
Those sides trading dinks. And as I say that, Long speeds it up and sends it long.
Well, again, trying to get everything back at once, and you can't do it. We talked about that before, Ted, and we talk about it all the time, is 1 point at a time. You got to slow things down, work the point.
Eight straight points for Hunter and Yates Johnson now get them to match point, up 10-4 here in game number 2. And just Long and the Johnsons advance in straight sets. They take it 11-7, 11-4 over Brendon Cincola John Cincola and Brendon Long. We'll hear from the winners when we return here at the Boca Raton APP New York City Open. Johnson twins through in straight sets. Here's another look at championship point.
Yeah, Long and Cincola going a little bit too deep to end that one and trying to make up too much ground. We've got Dominic Catalano that's down courtside with the Johnson brothers.
All right, welcome back to Championship Court here at the Boca Raton APP New York City Open. I'm with Hunter and Yates Johnson. First and foremost, great to have you guys back out here. It's been a little while. What was going on with you guys and now making you back here on Championship Court? You're playing really well today.
Yeah, we're just staying positive out there, having fun, going for our shots. But then I think today, with given the court conditions and the weather, we're just kind of being really smart in our dinks and just being really patient. I think it's paying off.
And you start to talk about game one, too. You guys go down. You make a 9-1 run to end it. You call a timeout at 6-2. What was the difference maker?
Yeah, just slowing it down. They kind of got some momentum, take a little break, little breather, and we got the momentum back, and we got a couple drives, a couple errors from them. They're a solid team. We played them a bunch, so really happy to get that win.
All right, well, congratulations, boys, back out here on Championship Court. We look forward to you guys coming back out here again. Take a break. We come back. More action here at the Boca Raton APP New York City Open.